Bush is urging Congress to pass major overhauls to help homeowners fight foreclosures. Will these moves help the housing industry, or should the free market decide? Real estate investor Dani Babb is the author of Finding Foreclosures, and she joins us right here in the studio. Welcome. First of all, before we get to President Bush's proposal this week, overall, as a real estate investor, how worried are you right now with what's going on?
You know, for the long run, I'm not worried. Short term, I'm a little frightened. I know in 3 to 5 years this situation is going to play itself out. I'm in a hold position right now. I'm renting out the homes that I have as investment properties, and I'm taking a wait-and-see approach.
But you would say that this is a very painful process that everyone's going through, especially those caught in the subprime lending snafu that's been going on. So many people need a bailout, and is President Bush doing something that will help them?
President Bush is doing something that will help a select few. He's been very certain not to help people who got themselves into trouble by not reading documents, who got themselves into trouble by investing in properties that they shouldn't have invested in, speculating in the market. But he's not really helping people who made a mistake and they knew what they were doing.
Well, Dani Babb, let's take a look at the Federal Housing Administration proposals that President Bush has come up with. He wants to modernize the FHA, suspend a tax on loan forgiveness, and enforce predatory lending laws. And there's something about if you can only benefit if you have decent credit, and it seems like anybody facing foreclosure is going to have taken several hits to their credit already.
Yeah, there are two major requirements here for the FHA insurance requirement. One of them is that your foreclosure, you cannot have been foreclosed upon within the last 3 years, and you have to have had good credit since then. You cannot have had a bankruptcy within the last 2 years, and you cannot have had poor credit since your last bankruptcy.
How many people does that leave?
That leaves about a little over 200,000 people out of the hundreds of thousands that are facing this problem, up to 2 million households by the end of the year.
Well, does that foretell of an impending doom to that type of industry?
It potentially does. It's something that a lot of us are worried about and watching in the market.
Yeah, because those people need something to jumpstart their credit and get back. What about credit restoration?
Credit restoration is an option, but there are a lot of scams out there, and consumers really need to be aware of what those are and be very careful when they select a company to help them.
Okay. What do you think of the New York real estate market? It keeps on going up and up and up no matter what happens in the rest of the country. It's crazy. It
is crazy. You have half the foreclosure rate of Los Angeles, which is an outstanding statistic. It speaks very well to your city, and actually New York in general is doing very well. We have a lot of foreign investors coming into New York, especially as the dollar weakens compared to other currencies. So where investors were putting money into Europe and Moscow, they're now bringing it here.
Heading for the Big Apple. Danielle, thank you so much.
Dani Babb, real estate investor from the West Coast. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just ahead, Jerry Lewis is still making an impact.